Hey YouTube, it's Urgo. So today's video is a video response to a video by one of the other orbiters, Red Dirt Boy 405, and he was asking what are our top 5 favorite movies from childhood. Now, I couldn't narrow it down to exactly 5, so I got a three-way tie for 5th place, and I'll tell you those and we'll count down to number 1. So, the three-way tie at 5th place. The first one I'll say is a movie called Escape to Witch Mountain. Really good movie. It's basically these kids or something have to get, they find out they have special powers and they have to get to a mountain for some reason. Because they're getting chased. I don't remember, but I just remember it was definitely a favorite movie. They did a remake of this recently, which not so good, but yeah, the version from the 90s, and I think there was one from the 80s or 70s, good too. Alright, the other one tied, or the other two tied for 5th place are ones you've definitely heard of, I'm assuming. The Goonies and Stand By Me. Two both very classic movies from the 80s and I think both the 80s. Goonies, these kids like go on an underground adventure and lots more happen. And Stand By Me is sort of a coming of age story, I believe. Good stuff also. Now, coming in at 4th place is one of the only movies that I actually had on VHS. We didn't have cable growing up as a kid, so we had some videos, and then a friend of my mom's used to tape a lot of things on video off of cable and gave us the tapes, but mostly cartoons. But one of the only videos that we had was the movie E.T., which, another definite classic, but I really think that this was just one of my favorite movies, and I would still count it in a top movie up to this day also. If you haven't seen it, you know what it's about. I'm not going to describe it. Yeah. 3rd place. This is something you probably haven't heard of. It's an animated movie, maybe I guess you call it a movie, or at least program, called Donald and Mathmagic Land. It stars Donald Duck, as you might expect, and it's sort of like an educational video where Donald goes into this Mathmagic land. You basically learn about a whole bunch of things in math, and like how music is part of math, and how in nature leaves and lots of other things take on geometric shapes, and how pool is a game of math, and all sorts of things like that. And it's definitely, I would say, a strange movie in terms of how it's animated and everything, but definitely I think one of my favorites, and maybe has something to do with why I love numbers and everything today. I don't know. So number 2, this is one that Katrina, one of the other orbiters that answered this already, said as well in her video, is the movie The Lion King. This is probably my favorite Disney animated movie of all time. Not only the movie itself, which has great animation, great story, great everything, but the music also from it. Probably one of the only movies I actually got the soundtrack of, and I must have listened to it a lot of times growing up. And even I still listen to the songs occasionally, not off the CD, but on MP3s or whatever. So the movie I'll pick for my number 1 movie from childhood is a movie you probably haven't heard of before. It's called The Navigator. And long story short, what it's basically about is this kid, he wanders off, I think after a party or something, from his family. He falls down and knocks his head or something, and he wakes up in this spaceship. When he gets out and tries to go back to his family, he finds out that he somehow was asleep for 6 years or something like that. However, he hasn't aged at all. And the story's sort of about that and how the government's trying to study him. They put him in a bubble or something, I believe, and try to find out what happened to him. And yeah, and then I won't spoil everything, but he ends up getting in the ship and goes and has all these adventures. And sort of the story is how he fits in this time and what he does to fix everything. And it's sort of, you know, to this day, I love anything to do with time travel and things like that, so that's, I don't know, I think that might have been the first movie I saw. Well, probably Back to the Future was the first. But anyway, one of the first movies on time travel that really, excellent movie. Go watch The Navigator. Go watch all the movies if you haven't seen any of the ones that I've talked about here. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much. Let me know, what are your favorite movies from childhood? Leave them in the comments below or do a video response, that would be awesome. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment with your favorites. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care.